So now we're ready to start. So good morning, everybody. I can formally welcome you now to the Diploma in Credit Management. You're all very brave signing up for the course. And I'm sure you probably woke up this morning and thought, what am I after doing? Is life not complicated enough? And I've enough on my plate now without taking on a course as well. So you have to be congratulated for that. And I just hope you're going to enjoy the process. That's really part of it. And what we pride ourselves in this whole diploma course is the practical nature of the material. This is not some academic course that's going to teach you all sorts of stuff. This is practical, and the stuff that you're going to learn in this course, you can apply in the day job on a daily basis. So that's really what it's all about. So all I want to do today is to give you an overview of what to expect. That's really what the whole thing is about. That there's no surprises, and you have a fair idea of what's involved and what you need to do and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I am hoping that share. I am hoping now that you see Irish Credit Management Training. Do I have that now? Bump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and these slides that I have prepared for you, I will share these with you. So I will send you a copy of these slides. So there's no need to take notes this morning. All I want you to do is just get an overview of what's happening. So I'm doing the introduction and hopefully set the tone for the course as well, and give you an overview as to what to expect. I'm wrapping up then at 10:30. Katrina then will go through. Katrina is your tutor for collections, so she will give you an overview of the collections module and what you can expect in that. Then at around 11:30. Now, look, all these times are approximate. It's not, and if we end early, we end early, and the same for the 12:45 questions and answers. If you have loads of questions, we'll keep going. If we end it early, we end it early, and that is fine. So the first module is collections. Katrina will go through that. Then we'll take a break for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever. And then Paul Daly will be joining us, and he's looking after both international credit management and Irish law. And that is a choice of subjects. So I suppose in terms of your role, if you are based in Ireland, working in Ireland with Irish customers, then maybe Irish law is a good thing to know. If you're in a multinational environment dealing with other countries, or maybe even if you aspire to, maybe international credit management is the choice of subject for you. So you either do international credit management or Irish law. And the reality is, if you want to stay for both inductions, then that's fine. See what's involved in international, see what's involved in Irish law, and you can make your mind up as to which module you think suits you best. So we're not putting you on anti-pressure at this stage. You have a week to make up your mind in terms of which module you're going for. We're here to answer any questions, and not just at the end of the session, guys. What I want you to know is that we are here. The fact that you are on this diploma course, we are here for you 100%. So, and even if you have questions that are not course related, you get a notice of a creditors meeting and you go, here, what's this, or what do I do with that? Please use the resources. I told you I'm a sad credit person. And I love credit issues, and I love credit problems, and I love credit challenges, and I do this for sport because I just love it. So if I can help you in any way, point you in the right direction, any sort of real life issues that you're having, and in terms of an introduction to myself, my profile says I have over 20 years experience in credit management, and I can assure you now that number is never going to change. It is not a lie. If you knew how many years I had, you would not believe I was that old. So that's the story. So I've been there. I started in a credit control office. I then became a credit controller, supervisor, manager, group credit manager. I've worked for a lot of FMCG and large multinationals, and been there, done that. And then I set up my little company called Irish Credit Management Training. And I've been educating and training people in credit control now for that's over 20 years on its own without any of the other experience beforehand. So that might give you a clue. And loving it. And not only do we get to train people, educate people, point them in the right direction, I help other courses and speak at conferences and do all that good stuff. So look, we are here, and not only are we here, I'm also happy because over the years I've built up a number of contacts. I am not here to sell anybody else's services. I don't do that. If you are looking for information, insurance, collections, international, I probably know a guy or a girl who's pretty good at it. Okay. And again, there's no expectation, no whatever. I'll do the introductions. I am just like a matchmaker, and I will just put you in contact with them or them with you, and you make up your own mind. So I'm not here to sell people. I am here to point you in the right direction. And when it comes to systems and all that kind of stuff, I'm happy to point you. So just I want to put your mind at rest at that that you have a support mechanism, because sometimes credit control can be lonely. Sometimes you're on your own, and sometimes you just feel you're sitting in an office and you're fighting with everybody, And what I want to assure you right now is, if you're not fighting with everybody, you're not doing your job. That's just the reality. And while people outside credit control have this mad notion that, oh, it must be very difficult dealing with customers, the reality of the situation is customers tend to be a doddle. It's the internal departments are the ones that cause 90% of the grief, because they either do stuff wrong or they don't do stuff at all. So we have to be aware of that. And also when it comes to credit control, no matter what goes wrong within the business from start to finish, we'll always end up on the credit controller's desk in the form of, I'm not paying you because. So we have visibility into the business. We know what's going wrong. We know the issues. We know the problems. And the other thing we do is we know what our customers want. And we have a unique insight into the business. And part of my sadness is that credit isn't given the recognition it deserves. And part of our mission now is to raise the profile of credit management to get people to understand the scope and importance of it. So that is that. So in terms of what is the course about, so I'm going to give you an overview of the overall course. So there's Katrina and Paul, and they'll be your contacts from a subject perspective. So if you have any questions on the collections module, you direct them towards Katrina. And if you're doing international or law, you direct those questions towards Paul. So they're looking after the individual modules for you. They always say when you're doing slides, never put too many words on a slide, and I've just done that. The purpose of this one, though, is just to give you an idea of what to expect over the next few months. So what happens is, after this initial session on Saturday morning, we will now revert to communicating via email. So on Monday, you will receive your first collections notes. So it is a PDF file with all the collections notes in it, and that will be received you will get that on Monday. And not only will you get your collections notes, there's a second document that is a short test. And the short test has 10 questions based on the material. So I suppose the short tests are just checking that you've gone through the material and you understand it. And you have 1 week then to submit the short tests to Katrina for collections. Is that okay? So you're not tied to time. You are kind of tied to the week. So when you get your collections notes on Monday, you have until the following Monday to get the short test back. Now, look, the real world catches up with us all. We have holidays, we have things, we have stuff going on. So we're not sort of rigidly stuck to the timetable, if you can keep it flowing. So if you miss a week, just say to Katrina, look, you know the notes that are coming in. I'm away all next week, so it'll be the following Wednesday before I get to you. That's fine. So we do understand that life. Stay in touch with us, and also do the work every week. And to keep it interesting, we alternate it. So on Monday you'll get your collections notes, and then the following Monday, then you'll either get international credit management or law. And that's why I said to you, you have a week to make up your mind which module that you want to do, because you'll be getting those notes from Paul on the 29th. Then second notes, and then we'll be sending out an assignment to you on collections. Then we take a break, so there's a week off where you won't be getting notes, back. So that is the timetable for it. So we've built in 3 breaks there, one at the end of May, one in June, one in July, just to give you a chance to catch up and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end of the process, so you'll be getting 4 modules for each subject, 4 short tests for each subject, and there's 2 assignments in each subject. So that's that. And then at the end of the process, you will be getting a mock exam. So we'll send you. So there's 3 ways the course is graded. One is on the short tests, one is on the assignments, and then there's a written exam at the end. So we'll show you what the exam looks like and the kind of questions and the kinds of standards. And the exam itself is done from the comfort of your own home. Is that okay? So we'll be emailing the exam papers to you, and you have 2 hours to submit your exams. All right. So this is all done remotely at this stage. So there's the dates. So if you want to stick them in to your diary at the time, I'll be emailing this to you. So that's a week to do each of the short tests. There's your assignments. You have 2 weeks to do your assignments. And the assignments will check your understanding of the concept. So the short tests, have you read the material? The assignments, do you know what's going on? I suppose that's the application of it. So that is interesting as well. Then we will get together on Zoom again on the 24th of August. And for that day, then I'll give you an overview of exam techniques and that kind of stuff. Katrina will go through the mock exam solutions, so you kind of see the kind of answers that we're looking for and what's required. And we will also give you some pointers for the real exam, because we're nice like that. I'm a firm believer in no surprises, so let's not have any surprises. And then on the 31st of August, we have the exams. They run from 10 to 12. You'll do, so what I'll do on the 31st of August at 10 to 10, I will email you the exam paper for either international or law. You have 10 minutes to read the paper, and then you have 2 hours to complete it and send it back. Is that okay? And I think for both of these subjects, well, certainly for law and collections, the format of the exam is you have 1 hour to do 50 multiple choice questions. Okay. So, and you say, well, it's open book and I can have the notes in front of me. Yes, you can. With 50 questions and an hour to do it, you have 1 minute and 4 seconds. You're not going to go rummaging through notes and find the answers in 1 minute and 4 seconds. And you will just add to your stress levels if you attempt to do that. So you do kind of need to know your stuff. Look, the course is doable, and we want to get people over the line. That's the whole point of it. Again, because you're getting a diploma, we have to ensure that there are standards and knowledge. So it's not just a gimme. Look, if you stick with it, if you send in your weekly tests, send in your assignments, turn up for the revision, turn up for the exams, that's usually enough to get you over the line. So failure is not an option. Is that okay? And yes, we have had people in the past who have had nightmares and didn't do enough to get the exam, and that's life. We'll always give you a second chance. So just in case you're worrying, what if, no, do not worry. If you're committed to getting this, we're committed to you getting it as well, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you over the line. If you just leave the notes piling up on your desk and turn up to do the exam in August and think you know everything, that's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so that's just the time frame. So we have that time frame. That's the 31st of August. And then in terms of, so we're doing collections and either law or international credit management this term. And as you saw there, that'll all end on the 31st of August. Then you have a couple of weeks off. And on the 21st of September, then we start the second term, and that will cover credit management and risk analysis. So credit management is, the managing credit. So that covers all the start to finish of credit control, and risk is kind of, and I don't want to frighten you, is kind of accounting based. What we want you to be able to do at the end of the risk module is to take a set of accounts and make an intelligent decision as to whether these people are creditworthy or not. So we're going to give you formulas, we're going to give you ways of looking at accounts, and it's not from an accountant's perspective, because you are not accountants. You do not want to be an accountant. Either am I. I have to be able to understand a set of accounts from a credit perspective to assess their credit worthiness based on the figures. So that's what credit risk assessment is all about. And then bearing in mind that figures only tell half the story anyway. So there's a lot more to risk than just the numbers. We do have to understand the numbers. So that starts on the 21st of September, and it'll run the same sort of weekly over the term. We have a revision session. Oh, look at that. Sorry. Let me go back, because I've lost a year. We're going back in time. It's actually 2025. My God, 2025. Yes, so September, you're studying there, and then we have the exams on the 13th of January, and the revision on the 13th of January and the exams on the 27th. And at that stage, then you'll have completed your 4 subjects and successfully done. You get your diploma in credit management. And what we do in March is we have a graduation ceremony. And so we'll present you formally with your diplomas and all that kind of stuff. So we send them out on a Monday. It's a Tuesday if there's a bank holiday, and there is a few bank holidays over the summer. So you should get them. If you don't have them by Monday, email Katrina and say what's going on, because sometimes we can get spelling mistakes. The thing is, though, if you're here, we probably have your correct email address. If you prefer to go to a Gmail or a personal, or you want to go to both your work and your Gmail, just let us know, and we're happy to do that as well. That is that. Additional exercises. So particularly in collections, there are kind of recommended exercises that you do, stuff from listening skills and all sorts of other things. So there is they're optional additional exercises. So they'll be clear in the notes. So they're not for marking. They're not for, we just recommend that you do them, because it certainly adds to the learning. So when you find them, just do it. So 2 weeks, I've told you that. 2 or 3 weeks to work on revision, and that's that. There's, in terms of phone numbers, so that's how to contact Paul and Katrina. Now Paul, who you'll meet later on, Paul has a day job. So and I suppose to a large extent, Katrina, you have a day job as well. So on that basis, so maybe, texting or WhatsApp is probably the best form of communication. And if you do want to have a chat with either of them, probably the best thing to do is just to schedule a call and say, look, would you be around on Tuesday evening or whatever? Because I know both Paul and Katrina have kids and families and all that stuff that takes over your life. So that's that. So if you schedule a call, that's fair enough. And in terms of, I suppose to a large extent, this is my day job. So if you want to ring me now, yes, I'm training for a living, so there's days I might be gone training. and not available. If I am at the desk, I will answer the phone, I will answer the questions, and you feel free to contact me anytime. So that is that. There's the email addresses. So if you want to contact them, by all means, email them, and you'll get an answer. That's that. Additional services. Yeah, well, if you want any information, we're here to do it. In terms of the marks, so if there's 100% for each subject, you get 10% for your short tests. So that's 2.5% each for the 4 short tests. Then you get 10% each for the 2 assignments, and then you get 70% for the exam. So that's how it works. So in an ideal world, if you score full marks in your short tests and assignments, which I can tell you now you won't, there's a possibility that you have 30%, before you even sit the exam, and the pass mark is 40. So it is doable. Now you still have to pass the written exam. It is still doable if you stick with it. So you get marks for everything that you do. In terms of professional membership and recognition, so the diploma course, so ICMT, that's my little business. We deliver the program, that's fair enough. And then there are 2 major organizations that recognize the qualification. So one is called AICDP, and AICDP is the Association of International Credit Directors and Professionals. It's currently a UK-based, UK headquartered company that operates in lots of countries around the world. So it's a growing organization. It's an international organization, and the good news is, in case you're getting suspicious, as a student now, you have free membership. So there's no, I'm not going to be asking you for any more money. That's okay. So what I do is, probably when I'm sending you out the links to the recording and the slides, I'll send you a link to join AICDP as well. So you can just sign up and join. And then when you get your diploma, you will get your diploma from the Association of International Credit Directors and Professionals. Yeah. On a local basis, we have the Credit Management Institute of Ireland. So CMII is the Irish-based Institute for Credit Management, and they also recognize the course. Same deal applies. I will send you a link to join CMII, and they're more involved in legislation and lobbying and information for members, and they run events and seminars and all that kind of good stuff as well. So just to keep you in the loop of what's happening in the world of credit. So you have the national focus from CMII and the international focus from AICDP. So, and it just, you're part of an association or institute, you're part of a community. And to me, in all my working life, and I even said this in a LinkedIn post last week, credit is a people business. That's what it's all about. Credit is about people. Credit is about building relationships. And I suppose the one sentence that I have uttered in the past that has been quoted back to me more often than any other is that people say, the one thing, Declan, I remember from the talk you gave or the course you delivered or whatever, is the line, people pay people they like. And never forget that. There's this image of credit controllers as debt collectors and enforcers and these Neanderthals who drag their knuckles along the ground. That is not what credit control is all about. It's about building relationships. It's about getting to know people, knowing what our customers want and need, and then making sure our companies deliver it. That's what it's all about. And I have found in my working career as well, by extending networks, by being part of institutes, by just even chatting to other credit professionals and managers, you find that whatever problems you're currently encountering, somebody else has had that problem in the past and found a solution to it. So that's really so I would encourage interaction with that as well. So that's that. So it's not just a ICMT diploma; it's nationally and internationally recognized. So that is that. There's your marking structure. So when you get your results letter, A distinction means you get over 80%. A merit is between 60 and 80, and a pass is between 40 and 60. And I've told you already, failure is not an option. All right, so let's not do that. So you'll get those marks in your individual subjects, and then overall you will either get your diploma with distinction, with merit, or you'll just get your diploma. Is that okay? So it's the process runs between now and March 25 when the graduation happens. Yeah, if you have questions, by all means, now is the time to ask them. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can come back and see you.
I have an annoying question.
Any questions? Yeah, Janice.
Yeah, I will be at a wedding in Spain on the 31st of August.
No, don't do it.
No.
No, if I were you, I would definitely come to the revision. It's far cheaper, and it will guarantee you a far happy. I don't want to joke. No, congratulations.
Not my own, but I will be there.
So do you want to do the exam before the wedding, or during the honeymoon?
So maybe the week before, and have it out of the way before I go to Spain, and I can enjoy my holidays.
Yeah, look, we'll organize something for you.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, and even though I don't advertise it and I don't talk about it, when we have a group, any group, it's like herding ants. So it's all very well, my favorite line is, I love making plans, because we all know how that works out. There's Catherine now. I've just let her in there, Katrina.
Right.
So yeah, look, if and for anybody, because the real world can catch up with us. So if the 31st of August comes and you're elsewhere, which hopefully all will be well with that one, we will make alternative arrangements. That's no problem at all, and it'll be as soon to that date as we possibly can.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
No, you're grand. You can go and relax and enjoy. And
I was thinking it was the day before.
Yeah, I would recommend
with a hangover and do an exam on
Sorry?
the 31st.
I love your honesty. I really do.
I was thinking about it.
I'm totally going to be hungover that day.
It's not going to happen. No.
I'd hate to ruin the day by having that hanging over you as well. So no, that's to be enjoyed and what. So guys, does that all make sense in terms of what to expect, getting your stuff every week? I would block off some time, whatever fits in with your schedule. So maybe say on a Tuesday between 7 and 9. People say, how long does the course take from a weekly perspective? And I don't know, and I'll tell you why I don't know, because I don't know how long it takes you to read a page, and I can't know. So on that basis, I would imagine if you did 2 to 3 hours a week, would that be reasonable, Katrina? I'd say 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, depending on the module. Like if you can put as much time into it, like with the additional exercises and stuff like that as well, like the listening test, people get really into that. They get really in, and they get into the personality tests and stuff like that as well. So there's going to be certain weeks where you'll spend a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But, I would say the guideline would absolutely be 3 hours a week.
2 or 3 hours a week. Yeah. So that's really, and you just fit that into your own schedule. Again, because we're creatures of habit, if we sort of block off a couple of hours, whatever night is worst on the telly, so if Wednesday night might be slow enough, and as an excuse not to watch Champions League football or whatever the case may be, then you can just block that off and say, okay, that's my study time. And look, the whole point about it is to keep in contact with us and with Katrina as well. So if there is an issue, or you're going away, or any of that stuff, just keep us in the loop, and we will work with you whatever we need to do, and we'll make whatever arrangements we have to make it work for you. That is the whole point. Okay, so what I will now do is I will stop the recording.